On the 11th of October 2004, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Minister for Arts and Culture and husband and wife team Raymond and Anna Reynolds of African Family Reunion meet to discuss and make final preparations for the first ransom payment for healing and reconciliation, which is to take place the next day at the Intercontinental Hotel in Kinshasa. The first of this series of ceremonies are the starting point for repairing the damage that has been done to the African family through our tragic history, and by some of our ancestors who, through their ignorance or fear, or who were simply born into an established system of kidnapping set up by the Europeans, became their allies. Through the ceremonies, we are resolving the spiritual resentment of those who were captured and sold, and the guilt of those who helped the whites, to bring about forgiveness, healing, and reunification as the resentment, the anger, or the guilt is dissolved and resolved. Africa and its people suffered and continues to suffer to this day because of the biggest movement in human trafficking ever seen in human history. It is fundamentally true that nearly every African man or woman, whether born throughout the diaspora or in Africa, all have ancestors who were kidnapped, enslaved, and shipped to a life of unimaginable suffering. As we are the fruit of history, the lives of our ancestors live on within each one of us, and so does their resentment, their anger, their fear, or their guilt. Certainly, today's Africans were not captured or sold, or assisted the whites. However, the ceremonies are about taking responsibility with a parental heart for repairing the injury that has been passed on from generation to generation, a spiritual and psychological injury that is within each African and needs healing within each one of us. Once, during an interview about young Africans who emigrate to Europe and the United States of America, former President of Ivory Coast Felix Houphouët-Boigny said, "Africans will go to Europe and will keep going until Africa is empty and abandoned, because they are following their blood, their families, their parents, their brothers, their sisters and their cousins. The first Africans who went to Europe didn't need immigration visas. They went as animals. They went as cargo."
Attempts to bring about African unity, but the problem with all the previous attempts is that they've never been able to resolve the ancestral resentment which has really kept us separate.
L'esclavagisme transatlantique a commencé, c'est dans le royaume Congo. Et c'est comme ça qu'on lui a fait retourner, de revenir à l'origine, à la source.
Il a déjà été en Kamba. Vous avez entendu son nom, c'est Moneke. Cette tentative m'a essayé d'effacer le ressentiment, la douleur de nos ancêtres qui avaient été déportés depuis des années. Et demain, nous allons essayer de faire quelque chose qui essaie d'enlever toute cette douleur-là, tout le ressentiment qu'ils ont ressenti d'être séparés. C'est une unité, une réunification symbolique aussi. Les Noirs d'ailleurs et ici.
On the 12th of October, Democratic Republic of Congo Minister for Arts and Culture, African chiefs and pastors who were representing all the provinces of the Congo participated in a ceremony where they paid a ransom for the return of their long-lost African brother who was born in England and who was a descendant of an unknown kidnapped African-born man or woman. The ceremony, which took place at the Intercontinental Grand Hotel in Kinshasa, the capital city of the Democratic Republic of Congo, was also witnessed by Congolese citizens who had heard about the ceremony through national media, including television and radio, during the days before. The program started with the President of African Family Reunion, DRC, the Reverend Nadulu, welcoming everyone and explaining the purpose of the ceremony. the Reverend explained that many Africans were involved in the European transatlantic slave trade, and as a result the African family was destroyed, divided and alienated as many family ties were broken. To this day, this can be seen through the lack of trust, confidence and love, which is often witnessed tribally or between the African-born and the African of descent, black people born throughout the African diaspora. There are many who deny any relationship or connection to Africa or even being African. A further example of this are the many African presidents who have amassed great wealth but have done very little for their people unless they are from the same village or tribe. The ceremony was the paying of a ransom to bring back long-lost brothers and sisters and beginning a healing within the African family. It was about the acknowledgement of wounds that have existed for more than 400 years because of the African Holocaust, and because of the African Holocaust we have become one of the most self-hating, fragmented and disunited people. A representative from the World Association of Non-Governmental Organisations known as WANGO mentioned that there is an ongoing action for all Congolese citizens to donate $1 to assist in the paying of the ransom for the return of those who were kidnapped. With the money that was collected, which includes Congolese francs, cowrie shells, which are an Asian African currency, and around $200 in cash, the chiefs and the government minister Muzunga approached Raymond Reynolds, who is of African descent and born in England. As he was born in Europe, he is also representing white Europeans. The minister and the chiefs say that they want to pay the ransom for the return of their family members.
Are you sure?
Êtes-vous sûr que vous voulez acheter vos frères?
Oui, nous sommes sûrs. Parce que les mots trouvent que... Monsieur Raymond vient d'accepter le plan qui vient d'Angleterre, vient d'accepter l'argent. Est-ce que nous pouvons applaudir cet acte? Je ne sais pas, il se peut que nos représentants... Pas de vous comme coopérant, vous allez comme coopérant,